JonnyPink. This is Malibu. There's Mullholland right behind the car over here, and I'm parked off to the side. There's Malibu Creek behind me. The lake is out that way. I'll leave a link over here. I have a car coming through. I forgot how busy it gets out here on a Sunday. Everybody brings out their motorcycles and their expensive cars, and they race through the canyons. I forgot about that. And Sundays is always the worst. That's okay, man. They're out having fun, so I can't say anything about that. The rock store used to be the most prevalent place for racing, and the sheriffs would be up there all the time. You could film. You'd see, if you go to the rock store, you see Jay Leno all the time, but that was a whole different time. The rock store is still there, and you'll probably still see celebrities there. So this is going to be my very, very last video with the R1. I really enjoyed shooting that. And although I enjoy shooting and although I do enjoy shooting the R3, it's a phenomenal camera, and I feel fortunate to have that. The R1, at least for the 2 weeks that I had it, was a step above everything else. It was really, really amazing with low light focus. So it could be almost dark and it would still find the subject. Long before I did, the AI technology that we've got that's building in all these things is phenomenal. It really, really is. Do I want it? Yes, I do. And as I said in one of my other videos, I would like to have that and an EF version 800 f/5.6. I think that was a phenomenal lens too. So let me pay off a couple of things, maybe sell the R5 II that I'm recording on right now, and then I'll buy all that stuff, but not right now. At least that's the plan. It's a nice goal to have. But this is the last video with the R1. Man, bees seem to like the camera because now there's a bee circling around there. Must emit a wonderful odor. And as I know I've talked about in different videos, the reason I go to the same places over and over and over is consistency. This morning I went to a place out in Thousand Oaks. I pulled it up online. It looked fantastic. I drove out there, and it's behind a housing development. So it wasn't what I wanted. So I came over here to Malibu, my second favorite place. At the moment, it's actually quiet. Wow, all right. I've wasted enough of the intro here. Let me show you some photos. This was the last day I was out. James and I went out to Hahn Park, and yes, there were hummingbirds there, but the ISO, because it was that was a car I should have been filming. But because it was overcast, the ISO I should probably just keep this going. But because it was overcast that day, it was really, really pushing the ISO. And although I have shot it at 51,200, that video is linked over here. Well, that was unusual. I'm just going to keep it going and film who goes by, and then I'll stop and I'll wait. The pictures aren't as clean as I would like, but you really are always at the mercy of the wildlife and the conditions, so you deal with what you have. But I go to the same places because of the consistency. I did get some hummingbirds. I would have loved to have shot it in the sun, but it just didn't happen. I'll just set the GoPro there and let it capture people as they're coming around the corner there. So what that means to me is I rent it again, or I sell a bunch of stuff and buy it. So without taking any more time of the intro, this is my intro because, well, it's beautiful out here. Check these out. And then it goes right into record. Thanks. And then there's a red light on the back that's going off. See it?
Yeah, there's a flashing right there.
Perfect. Perfect.
Awesome. And the morphic fun.
Oh yeah, it's fun, man. And the focus, it's tough.
Good move from the heck.
That's right. Well, yeah, I don't have the tracking or anything with it. It makes it a challenge. So James and I are here at Hahn Park, and it is, as we were both driving here, there were patches of sun and it was beautiful. My house, it was sunny, and then I hit fog, and then I hit sun, and then I hit fog, and it's so soft in here, it's not going away. So we're both testing our ISO. I had the 800 f11 on here, and I just didn't feel like pushing the ISO to 51,000 again. So I'll just have to settle for shooting that on my R3. So, as I said earlier, I have my 600 f4. Yeah, my elbows are starting to hurt. I've been shooting this non-stop for the last, week and a half, 2 weeks that I've had this. And I'm tired. It does get heavy after a while. Normally you don't shoot solid straight for that many days in a row, but I've been shooting like crazy, and it's been an absolute blast. One thing I do not like, I don't care for, there's always got to be something, right? Is because the eyepiece is off to the side over here, it's more towards the left side. When you go vertical, it's now at the bottom. Not a big deal. If it were in the center or off to the right side, then it would smash my nose even more than it does. It is what it is, not a big deal. But today's ISOs are still very, very high. You're pushing in the 25,000s. I'm trying to keep it around a respectable 10,000, maybe 8,000, 4,000. But I do have some of the ones earlier. What they're going to look like, I have no idea till later. But check them out and let me know what you think of them. Check these out. That's two 12s, a 25, the 1.4 extender. Anything worth doing is worth, well, overdoing. Actually, the funny thing is, here in the fog, I was using the 800 f11, but I didn't want to push the ISO up into the 50,000 that it was into. So I switched over to this so I can get it down to a respectable 10,000 ISO. It's supposed to be sunny, but it's not. The 1.4 extender gives me 840 millimeters, and the extension tubes just shorten the minimum focus distance so that I can get in close in here, and it's actually quite busy. Well, this is Sepulveda Basin Wildlife Reserve, and this is my final day with this beautiful R1. There you go. You see it? R1. And of course I still have my 600 on here, f4 with a 1.4 extender, giving me 840 millimeters of reach at an f5.6. It was completely socked in at Hahn Park, where I was hoping to really challenge this with the hummingbirds, but it just didn't happen this trip. So my options are extend the rental, buy one, or just accept that it's an amazing body. Check these out. So as I was saying, now I'll talk over the regional jet as I walk back to the car. I come here and I go to all these places because of the consistency. As soon as I got here to Sepulveda, I got bluebirds, and then I walked out to the lake, and I got the green heron, and I got the snowy egret, and now I got the hawk. And this area right here is one of my favorite springtime places to shoot the birds as they perch along the tops of the posts here. It's consistency, and that's why I go to the same places over and over. And Sepulveda here, all year long, you get the migration creatures that come through here. It is awesome. Dragonflies in the spring, summer, hummingbirds when it's in bloom in spring. It's always an amazing place. Not the greatest place, kind of sketchy sometimes. The homeless start fires out here, but it's consistent for wildlife. So again, thank you so much for letting me share. Let me know what you think of the R1. I am really impressed with it. I may extend the rental, so you may see another one after I finish the R10 video. We'll see. It is by far one of the most, it is the best camera body in terms of speed, accuracy with the focus that I have used. It's mind-blowing. It really is. I'm gonna feel like I'm taking a step down going to the R3. And James was asking, he said, is it really that impressive? Yeah. It's like going from a DSLR to a mirrorless with eye tracking for the first time. This is that. It's a huge, huge improvement. I'm impressed. Very impressed. Again, thank you. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Give it a thumbs up. And whatever it is you're going to do out there, man, have a fantastic day. If you see me out here, please come up, say hello, and I'll see you guys around. I am going to wander back to the car this way. If you're a long-time watcher, I thank you. If you are new to my channel, again, thank you. Please give it a thumbs up. This is the tag. This is the tag that I always put at the end after I show me shooting the 800. That is the 800 EF version, 800 f5.6. Man, I love that. I love, love, love that lens. I like shooting entry-level stuff as much as I like shooting the high-end stuff. The high-end stuff is actually kind of easier once you know what you're doing, but you do have to know how to take a good photograph. You're not going to buy the best of the best, not know how to use it. You won't get anything worthwhile. But if you do have experience, you'll get great photos even with entry-level stuff, and it's just fun because there's less thinking involved. I don't know if you can see it in the GoPro that's sitting over there, but there is a cross where someone has hit the wall. It happens, man. People come through here thinking that they are the best race car driver in the world, and they're not. And I understand racing through the canyons, pushing past your own limits, because that's how I broke my hips. Those two guys keep going through here. JonnyPink, again, thank you so much for letting me share with you guys. I forgot how much fun it is being out here. It's never quiet, I'll tell you that. Down below me, as I said earlier, is Century Lake. So, JonnyPink, I'll see you guys. Oh yeah, and since I am recording on the R5 II, if you're curious, I'm getting the heat warning. It's about to shut off, and it's only been on for about 10 minutes. This thing is absolute garbage.